Cotton, the fabric of our lives. Thank you for your interest in U.S. CottonWall and Jotacor cotton wall plaster, the only wall finish that combines form and function to create a visually warm and acoustically quiet space for your clients that is beautiful and customized specifically for their space in both color and component. The application for 30 square feet took approximately 21 minutes. We have edited the video to 15 minutes. In the following application video, Eric will mix a 30 square foot batch and apply that batch to a 30 square foot wall space in our shop. He starts with a pre-measured amount of water in the tub, to which he adds the pre-measured amount of dye and stirs that up. He then shakes the base materials in the garbage bag and adds those slowly, along with the effects such as micas and metallics. When you order material, we will batch it according to the size of the job and your input. The material is mixed by hand, and most batches take 5 to 10 minutes to mix. The dye and materials will come to you pre-measured on a per batch basis. Eric is now adding the second half of the mixture. Some decors are 1 part and others are a 2-part mixture. As you can see, the slurry is taking on an oatmeal consistency. When completely mixed, let the material set for 5 to 10 minutes for the glue to activate completely. Then remix. Small amounts of extra water may be added to compensate for evaporation and to ease application, as slippery material moves easier than sticky material. In normal circumstances, you will start in a corner at the top of the wall. We have a trim piece at the top of our wall like a crown molding and a chair rail halfway down. Eric will clean the edge of the trowel against the hock or against the wall so that the material will be more manageable and he can maintain a clean edge against the trim or ceiling. He puts most or all of the material from the hock on the wall with 1 or 2 strokes to gain a thickness as close to the final depth as possible. Remember, you are floating the wall to a depth of about 2 millimeters depending upon which material you are applying. We strongly suggest you do the 1 square foot of test material that we supply so you can have an example of actual depth for your application and not run short of material. After initial application of the material that was on the hock, you will finish that 3x3 area with long strokes in all directions, horizontal, vertical, and diagonal, filling in the voids and smoothing the highs and lows. These longer final strokes are accomplished with the trowel nearly flat against the wall, with the leading edge raised only a few degrees. Before moving on, do a quick check to ensure there are not any voids or trowel marks or unwanted flaws in the finished area. It is much easier to deal with any voids or trowel marks while the material is wet. Back to the bucket for more material. As you can see, Eric has about a half of a football-sized pie on his hock. He squares that off, especially on the front side, for easier lift with the trowel so as not to drop material. He will continue with the same style application against the trim board at the top being careful not to squeeze material onto that trim board or ceiling. He will continue with the same style of application as he did in the previous set, approximately a 3 by 3 area. Your application will be quicker in the field area if you put all or most of the material from the hock on the wall first before you do the final long smoothing trowel movements for each area, and then finally finishing with those long smooth strokes and QCing the area. Again, the key to fast application is to put all the material from the hock on the wall and then finish the entire area. The larger the area that you finish at one time, the quicker your application will be. Eric is QCing the bottom edge of the area he has just finished. QC stands for quality control. You should QC your finished areas about every 30 minutes. The material stays wet and movable typically for 2 to 3 hours. This will give you ample time to take a quick look back, again about every 30 minutes. As the moisture starts to evaporate and as lighting changes in the room, voids and trowel marks are evident and easy to correct. QCing periodically throughout the day will save time and produce a beautiful and flawless finish for your customer. Along any of your edges, lay 4 or 5 trowelfuls of material before smoothing. QC or finish these edges immediately after the application of the material. The scratch coat becomes slippery after about 5 minutes and will make your final QC more tedious if you wait too long. This lower area has a chair rail. The chair rail trim is an easier application than a crown or ceiling, as you are not working over your head. You will notice that Eric laid the trowel with the material right on the chair rail edge and just folded it up and over, pulling the material to proper thickness, again with 1 or 2 strokes of the trowel. He will now put the remainder of the material that he has on his hock into that area that he's finishing, and then with long, smooth strokes QC the entire area. Again, take notice, as Eric has finished this area and filled in the voids, his trowel movements become flatter and more parallel with the wall as he is just smoothing out the highs and lows of the area and floating the wall. Thank you for watching part 1 of our application video. If you have questions about our product or the special package offer, please call Tim Bell at 888-677-3642 or email tim@jotacor.com. The link to the second part of this video is at the bottom of the introductory page. Thank you.